Hello, everybody. My name is Edson, a software engineer whose mission is to share his insight and experience with you. Today, we're diving into an important topic: how to get your first software engineering job. Have you ever wondered how people get those high paying software engineering jobs? Well, stick around because I'm about to reveal to you the secret and the path that can lead you to your dream of becoming a software engineer. Let's talk about the journey of entering junior entry level software engineering. When you come across a position that is requiring a entry level engineer, I have to kind of make you understand. Usually, those jobs, even though they say entry level, most of them really require someone who has been coding for about 2 to 3 years before they even consider as an entry level job. So this may sound counterintuitive, but think about it. If you go to college, you will usually stay in college for 4 years, and during those 4 years, you probably take a good year or two to learn how to code correctly. So, factually, when someone is an entry level, they would require that person to have been coding for about a year or two on their own before they can even take the time and resources to bring them into a team. This is based on my experience interviewing entry-level software engineer. Usually you expect these people to come into the job already knowing how to write code. They might not be able to write perfect code, but the expectation is they are able to write a proper code and their code can compile without issue. So now let's explore the different path of getting an entry-level software engineering job. So let's take the easiest way to get into software engineering. In my opinion, the easiest way to get into software engineering is to go to college for a computer software engineering degree. While this may sound harsh, that if you already graduated college and you haven't studied computer science, but the reality of things is that's the best preparation that you can do to get that entry-level job. Many engineers that went to school for computer science, a lot of them have actually started to code before they even walk and took their first computer science courses at the university. Usually you have students that have learned how to code since they were in high school. So by the time these students graduate college and they are applying for entry-level job, these students are already at the top of their game. So sometimes it might be hard to compete with this student because they put years into it before they land that first job. In my opinion, the easiest way to get an entry-level job is to go to college for a computer science degree or any other related field where you are pushed to take some computer science courses. This might be electrical engineering course, mathematics, even economics. Now, let's say you didn't have a chance to go to college for computer science, but you still want to get your entry-level software engineering job. Let's talk about the second easiest way to get into this world. The second and easiest way to get this job would be those people, or I would consider people switching career. So let's think of it as someone who didn't study computer science and they've been working in a different field, and now they started gaining interest in landing their first computer programming job. They probably already have a 4-year degree, and now they are exploring the option. So if you're in that position, you have multiple options you can take. Again, I'm going to start with the easiest one to the most difficult one. As a career switcher, the easiest way actually is to go to a community college for a year or two, learn the basic of computer programming, and then apply for any online computer science program. Usually, if you already have a bachelor degree and you apply an online computer science degree program, what you're going to get is while you are in the program, then you can start applying for entry-level software engineering job. That would give you many options, because when you do it like this, you are learning both on your own, because school is going to be challenging you Mostly people would go to the route of taking online courses before, because if you're already working, you're not going to stop working and you're not going to break your income to just go back to school. So you can go the online route and take a master's degree in computer science online. There are many universities that offer online computer science, so you can pick whichever that you want. So I would start by first going to community college for about a year, so you could learn the basic of computer programming, and then do an online master's degree. And while you're starting the online master's degree, you start applying for a job, and eventually you get your entry-level job. And when you get that entry-level job, you continue with your online master's degree. So that's the slightly more difficult, but again, it still comes to that conclusion that you need at least a year of programming on your own before you can even think about getting that first entry-level job. Another way that is also slightly more difficult, but it's also doable, is you don't necessarily go for a computer science degree. You start working where they have a software engineering department. You also have to put some time in learning programming on your own. And with time, you slowly build the skill and start taking some small help projects, right? Small project that require programming. The other way you can land that first job is by doing a career transition, like you currently working at a company and you're always in the engineering department. Maybe your role is IT support, or maybe you're customer service answering phone calls. However, you have some level of interaction with the software engineer. Then you probably talk with your manager about your interest in software engineering. And depending on the company, sometimes they have internal bootcamp. For example, I work at Home Depot, and many people who used to work in the store can talk about their desire to join the corporate and work as a software engineer. What they would do, they would send these people in a 12-week boot camp, and after they graduate the boot camp, then they're gonna have a better opportunity to join as an entry-level software engineer, where they will be monitored by other senior engineers and give them the necessary advice and skill that they need so that they can become successful. This is slightly easier, but it also takes a long time, because you have to have been proven yourself in your current position, and you have to consistently be working in a location where your role is extra support for software engineering. Usually the people who get into this bootcamp, they probably work in the store. They probably help with computer on the store, and then with time, as they grow in their career, then they get this option to them. Let's talk about the most difficult way so far I've found to get your entry-level position. While it's not impossible, I have to say what I've seen to have been the most difficult way is to go to a bootcamp. What I mean by most difficult, it's not like you're not going to get a job. You are definitely going to get a job, but you may have to prove way more than any of the other people or any of the other way to get into the field. So here is how usually the bootcamp works. Usually you go to the bootcamp for about 16 weeks, and after the 16 week, you should be good enough to start taking programming assignment. Honestly, the people that I have seen that are successful at bootcamp has a tendency to have already earned higher degree, that already just need a little bit of motivation. And usually these people probably already have interest, and they would have succeeded regardless. What I'm saying, it's not that it's impossible. It's just that it's harder to land that. You will take way longer, and it would take way more effort to get into the first entry-level job if you go the bootcamp route. But at the same time, different people are in different paths in their life, and that might be the best option for you. The good thing about the bootcamp is they are very hands-on, and they are they teach you the things that you actually use in your day-to-day work. So usually if you're a very good student in the bootcamp and you continue with your education outside of the bootcamp, you would be successful. So here's also that thing. With software engineering, you always have to continuously be learning. So regardless how you enter the field, that's not what matters. What matters is your ability to learn new skill and consistently upgrading your skill. Because technology that was very popular now probably would not be popular 3 years or 4 years from now. The advantage now, if you had a formal education, anytime technology switch to a new technology, it will take you slightly less time to adopt this technology because you will be building from previous experience based on things that you've already known, so it's easier. But sometimes if you didn't take the time to go through the proper training, while you may be able to catch up, because different people have different, brains. Some people are way more intelligent than others. But I have to honestly say that not everybody can catch up without putting a good 2 years or 3 years to study the fundamental of computer science. So those are my experience. So I hope this video is helpful to you. These are just my personal opinion. And if you think otherwise, you can go ahead and put your comment and you can openly disagree with me. But in my personal opinion, usually that's the order things go. If you get the computer science degree, it's very easy to get in. If you didn't get in as a computer science student, then you go to you go work with whatever field, you go to community college for a year, and then you apply for a master's degree in computer science. And while you're doing your master's degree, you apply for a job and you continue with the education. That's the second easiest way. The third easiest way is you already in a job where you're already working close to an engineering department. And if you're lucky, you can ask your manager to switch you. And it's way easier to switch to a software engineering role in your current company than it is to go to a new company and start as a new software engineer. It's way easier to switch inside of your current role. And the most difficult one so far, while it's not impossible, is to go to the bootcamp route. It's not impossible, but it's the most difficult. There is also the extremely difficult part is to be self-taught. And this one is extremely difficult to let the first job. But again, because something is difficult doesn't mean it's impossible. So leave your comment, share your thought, share your experience, how you got your first software engineering role, because this is based on my own experience and maybe I can learn something new. Thank you. And remember to subscribe, like, and share. Bye.